Good evening. We'd like to bring this meeting to order, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Ocean Star on January 12, 2024. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspaper posted on public bulletin boards in the Township website.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Here.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Coming.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Here.
Councilman Feynman. Councilwoman Travers. Vice President Ambrosino.
Here.
President Minichino.
Here. Thank you. I'd ask everybody to please rise for the salute the flag and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you accept the reports, please?
Yes.
Thank you. I had a motion and a second
Motion.
for June 11th minutes, please. Thank you.
Motion again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Perry. You okay? Huh? Take a damn cut.
I on it.
Thank you. And this brings us to our consent agenda.
Oh, I'm going to take a roll. I'm just running a little behind.
Okay.
Sorry. Councilman Albanese.
Here.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Barely here.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Here.
Vice President Ambrosino.
Yes.
President Minichino.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this brings us to our consent agenda.
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Thank you. 4-1.
Authorize insertion of Chapter 159, NJDCA Brick Senior Center 2022 grant.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the insertion of a grant in the amount of $200,000 from the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs for the Brick Senior Center Dialysis Transportation Program. This program started July 16th, and so far we've been able to provide 595 rides to 18 patients. It's really been great. We have been transporting the Brick residents to 2 local dialysis centers, and some patients are saving a significant amount of money on transportation expenses, as well as respite care to their caregivers who have been transporting them themselves. So, and our buses are all ADA compliant. So it's been a really good thing for our residents.
Thank you. 4-2.
Authorize grant application NJDOT 2025 Municipal Aid Program Roadway Elevation of Channel Drive Project.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes a grant application to the New Jersey Department of Transportation Municipal Aid Program for the Channel Drive Roadway Elevation Project. 4-3.
Authorize award of contract for purchase of 2 EMS power cots.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Thank you, Mr. President. This resolution authorizes an award of contracts in the amount of $65,416.88 with Stryker EMS equipment located in Kalamazoo, Michigan, for the purchase of 2 Power Pro specials for the Brick Township EMS squad. This purchase was actually approved in the 2024 capital budget. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-4.
Authorize award of contract for purchase and delivery of 1 2024 Chevrolet Tahoe.
Council Vice President Ambrosino.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the award of a contract in the amount of $50,117.22 to Hetrick Fleet Services of Milford, Delaware. This is for the purchase and delivery of 1 2024 Chevrolet Tahoe. This purchase was previously approved in the 2024 capital budget for the police department. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-5.
Authorize award of contract for purchase and installation of new gym floor at Civic Plaza.
Councilman Albanese.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the award of contract in the amount of $63,378.50 to Direct Flooring, Flemington, for the purchase and installation of a new gym floor at Civic Plaza. This purchase is being made through Educational Service Commissions of New Jersey Cooperative Agreement and was funded in the 2024 capital budget.
Thank you.
4-6.
Authorize award of contract for upfit to 6 police Inceptor utility vehicles.
Council Vice President Ambrosino.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the award of a contract for the purchase and installation of various equipment for new police patrol vehicles. This award is being made through the State of New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program through 2 vendors, East Coast Emergency Lighting of Millstone Township in the amount of $105,050.88, and PMC Wireless of Hazlet in the amount of $14,113.14. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-7.
Authorize award of contract for roadway improvements to Courtshire Drive.
This resolution authorizes the award of contract in the amount of $488,783.50 to Mecca Inc., Clarksburg for the roadway improvements on Courtshire Drive project. This project was funded in the 2024 capital budget. 4-8.
Authorize lease agreements for wireless telecommunications facility at 401 Chambersbridge Road.
Councilman Albanese.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the lease agreement for wireless telecommunications facility located here at Town Hall with Dish Wireless, Roseland. With the initial term annual rent of $44,000, the rent for each term will increase by 2.75% on a rent commencement date. Bid notices were provided to 4 vendors from the Township's bidders list. 1 bidder picked up the package.
Thank you. 4-9.
Authorize demolition of 204 Winchester Drive.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the demolition of 204 Winchester Drive as recommended by the Township's Property Maintenance Board. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-10.
Authorize demolition of 250 Riverside Drive North.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the demolition of 250 Riverside Drive North as recommended by the Township's Property Maintenance Board. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-11.
Authorize 2024-2025 liquor license renewals without restrictions. BC Rest of Bricktown, Inc., trading as New Jersey Wine Gallery.
Councilman Albanese.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the renewal of culinary retail distributor liquor license without restrictions to New Jersey Wine Gallery on Brick Boulevard.
Thank you. 4-12.
Authorize 2024-2025 plenary retail consumption liquor license renewals with restrictions. JSM at Brick 4 LLC.
Thank you. Councilwoman Pontareri.
Mr. President, this resolution authorizes the renewal of the plenary retail consumption license with restriction, which is currently in the inactive status to JSM at Brick 4 LLC. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-13.
413A is a performance bond release for Block 1170, Lot 10.01.
Thank you. 4-14, please.
414A, a veteran deduction for Block 25.02, Lot 89. 14B is 100% DAV widow, a veteran deduction for Block 493, Lot 22. 14C is 100% DAV widow, a veteran deduction for Block 894, Lot 1. And 14D is a tax overpayments from 2020 at Block 270, Lot 60, and as well at Block 109, Lot 39.
Thank you. This brings us to the end of our consent agenda. Can I get a motion in a second?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Open to council. Seeing none, close council. Open to public for questions on the resolutions only. Seeing none, close public. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese. Councilwoman Pontarera.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Vice President Ambrosino.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes.
Thank
you. This brings us to our computer bill resolution.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $14,168,572.68.
Thank you. And a motion in a second, please.
Most.
Second.
Open to council. Seeing none, close council. Open to public on these resolutions. Seeing none, close public. Can I get a roll call?
Councilman Albanese. Councilwoman Pontarera.
Yeah.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Vice President Ambrosino.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes. This brings us to our manual bill resolution.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $2,223,670.11.
Thank you. Can I get a motion in a second?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Open to council. Seeing none, close council. Open to public on these resolutions. Seeing none, close public roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yeah.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Vice President Ambrosino.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes. Thank you. And this brings us to our public comments.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Thank you. Anybody from public? Yes, Mr. Sluk.
John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court. I'll read my letter. I guess you guys got June 16, 2024. Dear Mayor Crate, Council President Vincent Menachino, and all councilmen and councilwomen, as well as all the residents, students, and workers of Brick and Ocean County. Pleas of the residents of Evergreen Woods condo area, Brick High School, Primrose Garden, Sutton Village, Lanes Mill School, Greenbrier, Town Hall, Briar Mills, Birchwood Park, and other places in Brick and Ocean County monthly go unanswered. Anyone can go to the bus stops around the Evergreen Woods, the playgrounds, the pool areas, and just the regular streets, and can note the noise and the toxins and the pollutants and the dangers associated with the Garden State Parkway. The mayor, council members, the administration, the newspapers, and in fact, anyone can go anytime to any part of the development at Evergreen Woods. If anyone thinks it's too far, they could probably find a place closer to their homes where they can view their Garden State Parkway for its dangers, its toxins, and its noise. The New Jersey Turnpike Authority Commission has created toxins, dangers, and noise in its expansion over about 12 years ago, and it has gotten increasingly worse over the time period. Anyone spending a decent amount of time in Evergreen Wood area can feel the danger, can hear the noise, and can see the damage that has happened over the years. One must realize that air pollution is harmful to everyone, not just the people of Evergreen Woods. It has impacted Cherrywood, Brick High, Primrose Garden, Briar Mills, Sutton Village, Lanes Mill, Greenbrier, Town Hall, Birchwood Park, and others. Ambient air pollution is a major environmental health problem affecting everyone in the lower, in the middle, and in the higher income area countries, and it occurs in all areas around the world. The town may have spent money and gone to a few meetings with the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, but the bureaucracy rules. The New Jersey Turnpike Authority planted almost no trees, almost no brush, and no bushes on their own property, and over the years, many trees have died and they have fallen. The toxins and the noise did not get better on their own, and the people continue to suffer. People of the area have been harmed ever since by the toxins flowing off the Garden State Parkway without regard for the seniors, the workers, and the youth of the area. The children waiting at bus stops, seniors walking their dogs, workers fixing the roads and roofs, town workers collecting garbage, tending to the fires and other emergencies where there are over 700 houses located, children swimming in pools and playing basketball would just have to put up with the toxins from the automobile emissions or the burning of the tires, which cause more pollution. Vast walls and increased foliage are needed on the Garden State Parkway around Evergreen Woods condo area, Cherrywood, Brick High, Primrose Garden, Briar Mill, Sutton Village, Lanes Mill, Greenbrier, Town Hall, Birchwood Park, and many, many, many other areas. The time to act is well past, and it is now. Thank you for your time. I yield back a minute 40.
Thank you. Anyone else from public, please? Yes, sir.
My name's John McConaughey, 125 Valencia Drive in Brick, New Jersey. And I want to speak to the Brick Council today regarding damage that occurred to my home and that of many of my neighbors, some of whom are here tonight. We're seeking help from our elected officials in obtaining a fair resolution of damage claims to our properties. I actually sent all members of the council an email on April 1st in regards to this matter. I didn't hear back, so that's why I'm curious. Rick MUA hired contractor Underground Utilities Corporation who did work on replacing water and sewer lines, and 5 streets in our area, which was overseen by Brick MUA on a daily basis. We reported damages occurring almost immediately, not to mention the effects of the gases that were coming from the dewatering that they were doing, which was extreme and excessive. Brick MUA told us that QUC, Underground Utilities Corporation, is responsible and to file claims with their insurer for the damages that were occurring. Brick MUA repeatedly assured us that they were going to hold back final payment and their performance bond until quote-unquote residents' claims were satisfactorily resolved. That's fine, but now Brick MUA is being sued by Underground Utilities Corporation for the release of their final payment and bond. That goes and they lose, then we will have also lost any little last bit of leverage that we may have with that contractor for this work. Brick MUA over the course of over 2 years hold us to patient to let the process play out, It's over 2 years now. The contractor's insurer is denying our claims, saying that the damages were either pre-existing, which they were not, or that they were not caused by their insured Underground Utilities Corporation. We brought this damage to Brick MUA's attention almost immediately. Absolutely nothing was done. Pause to investigate, to stop the project. They allowed it to continue as they were performing it, and it worsened the damage. As a result of that, feel that Brick MUA bears some responsibility in this, although they now abdicate all responsibility. Brick MUA doesn't seem to answer to anyone. Other local politicians have told us that they may answer to this council because you are responsible for appointing the members of their executive. Don't know if that's true. One reason we're here. Between 11 neighbors right now who are left involving this, we have over $400,000 collective damage to our properties. We didn't ask for this project. We were told this was going to be a minor project. We got a notice in September, told us that this project was going to be over in September of 2021, I should say. The project was going to be over by January of 2021. No warning that there was going to be any significant impact to our lives. The project didn't end. Physical work started in November of 2021 and did not end until July of 2023. That's not a minor project. Evidently, all parties, Brick MUA and Underground Utilities Corporation, doing work for them, are required to have insurance. But it appears that there's no accountability to actually pay claims out of that insurance because their insurer has simply, in their own determination, said it wasn't us. I'm just going to go back and say one thing. There are 16 homes on Valencia Drive alone that suffered damage. Do you think that's a coincidence? There are probably 50 homes on the street, and half of them are non-full-time residents, so they don't even realize what happened to them. So I'm asking the council, is there anything anyone can or will do to help us put some pressure to get this matter resolved? Enough is enough.
So let me ask a question.
Sure.
Who else is here? Okay, does anybody want to add to that before we respond? Or did he touch it pretty good? Because
Yeah, let's.
Don Saponaro, 141 Valencia Drive. I think John pretty well covered it. MUA has completely turned their backs on us after telling us to be patient, telling us to wait, let it, take its course. The MUA approved the engineering. MUA gave out the contract. The MUA managed the contract. They were our main point of contact for any questions we had, any issues in the neighborhood as far as road cleaning or anything like that when it was simple. As soon as claims started getting filed, they said, oh, you got to talk to the contractor. Contractor looked at it. They decided, their insurance company got involved, decided
They weren't going to address any claims until the project was complete, which was almost a year and a half later. Now that the project was done, they turned around and said, oh, everyone got the same form letter saying it was pre-existing conditions. Our neighborhood is over 60 years old. They tried to tell us that it was settling of the marsh, which had, been backfilled 60 years ago. There was storm damage, but never said what storm. And my house was built in 2018. So what had nothing to do with Sandy. And they had one other issue, I forget what it was. But in any event, the MUA completely turned their back and said it's up to the contractor. They're responsible. Contractor pushed it on the insurance. The insurance sent the blanket letter saying it's not our responsibility. Now MUA says, oh, well, there's nothing we can do. So that's why we're here. We've come to the end of the road at MUA. We're asking town council for help at this point.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak on this issue?
No,
You got to step up to the microphone and please state your name.
Jill Myers, 115 Valencia.
Thank you.
This is a letter that I wrote to CNA, which is the insurance company. I bought my house 1 month before the whole project. I purchased my house on May 22nd, 1 month prior to the loss of the claim. My house inspection at that time, my house did not have any cracks in the ceiling, cracked tile, cabinets falling with noted cracks and visual measurement defects, nail pops throughout my home, windows out of alignment, and major deck issues. My deck was perfect. Now I have two verbal and one written estimate of over $50,000 for replacement. Major beams have been shaken. I had to endure constant vibration, shaking of my home, noxious fumes for 2 years, not to mention I did get some headaches, which I never got. Again, constant shaking from the machinery. The vibration actually caused my air conditioning coils to break, that I had to replace the air conditioning. Pictures were taken throughout this whole project by Tom from the company, from Underground Utilities. The damage sustained is not related to settlement, as I purchased my home 1 month prior to the Underground Utilities Corporation project. My home inspection clearly documents that prior to the work, there was nothing noted or noted issues in my home. Now there are a lot of issues and a lot of repairs that need to be done. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Ms. Cole.
Nan Call, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard. And comment. Once again, this council, with the exception of maybe one person, has shown the total disregard for the residents and homeowners in this area, in this entire town. And for the people that are watching on television and who may be gathered here, I offer this information. A short time ago, before I was consumed with my own physical problems, I contacted the Rutgers Law Institute asking if any entity had oversight over municipalities. The response I got was the Department of Community Affairs, which in the past I've dealt with, and you don't get too much help, but with the problem you have mentioned, I think you could get a lot of help. And I suggest that we as a town get together and bombard the Department of Community Affairs with our problems and the lack of interest by the council, the refusal to my suggestion to hold town hall meetings, and find out what are the needs of your people that are in the township. I know it's deaf ears there, but maybe somebody that's in the listening audience on, I don't know if it goes out over a radio line, but certainly you can see it on a YouTube, I believe. And let's all get together and demand the match.
Thank you. Mr. Starkey, would you like to respond to this?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the people who got up from Valencia Drive, I I got the email as well that you sent. I think it was back in March or April, and I spoke with the attorney for the MUA to ask him if he was aware of the concerns you had, and he was aware of them, and he told me generally, I think what you've been hearing, that he said they're trying to work through it with the contractor and with the insurance company. He also told me they're holding up their performance bond. It sounds like what you were told. I haven't spoken with him since. I wasn't aware that this continues to be a problem, but I understand the concerns. I appreciate you coming here. The issue for this council, though, is the MUA is a separate governmental entity, and the council appoints the members, but that's it. We're not allowed to interfere with their operations. We're not allowed to direct them, to tell them what to do, to tell them how to do it. And that's because state law sets up the MUA as the entity that oversees water and sewer projects in the towns. They do have public meetings like this one. I don't know if you've been to one of their meetings. You have? Okay. They have public meetings. They have public comment, public input. And you can, and I'd say you should bring your concerns to them. The council, I think, will listen to you, but the council really is powerless to direct the MUA to do anything. We simply can't, as a legal matter, do that. People have asked about what options you have. I hear your claims, and I sympathize with you. And I think so far you're doing what you should be doing. The people that are responsible, you've hit the contractor, potentially the contractor, their insurance company, possibly the MUA. You could certainly join the lawsuit if it's pending. Somebody said there's a pending lawsuit. I wasn't aware of that. You can join that lawsuit individually, collectively. Sounds like you have a significant amount of claims on the table. You are able to bring a separate lawsuit against the insurance company or against the contractor. You can bring a lawsuit against the MUA if you want to. Sometimes insurance companies have internal appeals you can pursue. I don't know if you've been notified of that. You did that? It got denied. Okay, that's usually a simpler process than going to court. Less expensive, but
being padlocked.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna work going down that way. It's an option. It sounds like you're very explored that. I think coming to the council and the mayor and administrator, we don't have control. We don't have influence over the MUA. We can't tell them what to do. They make their own decisions. I said they're separate authority, just like claims against the county or against the state are separate from what the township here does. I think if you're going to the MUA meetings, I know they meet once a month at the end of the month. I think they just had a meeting tonight, actually, but they generally meet on Wednesdays, the last Wednesday of the month. You're free to go. It's open to the public, open for public comment, just like this is here. You can get up and you can bring your concerns to them. And I think that hopefully would be a productive avenue. But I think everyone appreciates you coming here and expressing. I just wanted you to know that the power and authority is not here to solve the problem. It'll be at the MUA.
Thank you, Mr. Starkey. Anybody else from public, please? Nope. Seeing none, close. All right. Yes, sir.
I have to apologize. I had a hard time hearing back there.
It's okay.
My name is Robert Lee. I reside at 183 Cartagena Drive in the Baywood section of Brick with my wife, Eleanor, and my 3 children, which have left the nest. I'm here tonight to address the flooding that we have on Cartagena Drive. Okay, back in the old days, we never had flooding. When we moved in, I've been here since the mid-'60s. We never had any flooding. The water would come in on the southeast or an east wind, come in the lagoon, up the storm drain, and down the side of the road, and never covered the road, okay? Now, what happened, the developer, the township, allowed construction of homes on the north side from the bay all the way to the paper lot, which was a road, and they were going to develop that marsh, okay? Now, when they did that, the water with no place to go. It had no place to go. It would come down the road and now cover the road. Now, the marsh grows at least 5 to 8 inches a year. I thought the marsh sank. So over a period of time, the marsh has gotten higher. In the marsh, there's tidal pools where the mosquitoes were. The Mosquito Commission used to come in and dredge that. They no longer do that. Now the water comes in on an east and a southeast wind, not so much on northeast. Now the northeast wind is bringing the water in where the township property is. Nothing was ever done on that property, okay? Now, right now, I'm in danger. I have a heart problem. The tide comes up at least 2 feet. Now, if we have to send an RV, I don't know, the police, the fire, EMS, they're not going to come to my house. They have to get there with a boat. And now the marine life come in. The only time I've seen any marine life on that property is when we have extreme tides. It goes down the curb, and it's a field day for the seagulls. They have a diners club at the curb. So I've talked to the mayor, and the neighbors have, and I know right now that's deemed wetlands. It never was. It was a paper road for developing in the marsh, okay? They never did that, and they were stopped by the federal government. Now, the mayor tried. I honestly feel when I spoke with the mayor a few times, and my neighbors have, that something was going to be done. Apparently, the mayor hit roadblocks and nothing was done. So right now, we are in a concern to stop the flooding on Cartagena Drive. There's got to be a solution. There's got to be powers to be. Team up with the county, team up with the state, team up with the federal government. There's got to be a solution. The town doesn't have the revenue or the resources. Something has to be done to protect the marine life and the citizens. That's all I have to say, Bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else from public, please? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, I'm Marian McAvoy from 172 Cartagena Drive. I'm here to actually speak on the same topic as my neighbor across the street, Bob. I have been a full-time resident of Cartagena Drive since 1996. And yes, as Bob said, we have sustained minor flooding when water would rise through our storm drains. It would come up, it would go down. We had ample time to move cars, to get off the street if we had appointments or had to go to work. Previous administrations dating back to 2015 have been made aware of this because I personally emailed them. And we actually asked that tide valves be installed in the storm drains. To date, nothing's been done. Approximately 5 years ago, and I know that because we're on the way to a christening, the frequency and severity of the flooding increased as the bay began to breach the township property known as Sabero Drive and the adjacent lot. The water flow is voluminous. It's quick flowing. There is no time to prepare and to move your vehicles. Vehicles have become submerged and property has been damaged from this. The water can rise 2 to 3 feet in the street and the street definitely becomes impassable. I've sent videos 2 years ago to Mayor Ducey. Mayor Crate, who's been excellent, has seen them and been aware. The videos illustrate the water flowing down the street. They show the amount of water in the street. I have some photos of cars submerged. People have lost their vehicles trying to get off the street. It's crazy. My husband and I have phoned Governor Murphy. We have spoken with his assistant, Robert Field. We've sent photos, emails, and we've even been in touch with various DEP personnel. To date, even though Mayor Crate has tried very hard, nothing has been done to stop the flooding. This is definitely a safety issue. As Robert had said, we can't get off the street, and we are honestly requesting that action be taken to stop the flooding at the bay. If an outside engineer is necessary, maybe that's something to think about to work with the DEP. Fire hydrants become blocked. Trying to find that photo. This is where the bay comes across the lot and actually floods the street. So anything that can be done to help us would be greatly appreciated. Storm season's coming. It's a multiple event. It happened April, May, December, constant. So thank you, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you. Anybody else from public, please? Yes, sir.
John McAvoy, 172 Cartagena Drive. I just want to reiterate the same thing. Even it doesn't have to be a storm; it could just be a high tide. Now that the bay water level has risen to after Sandy, and this lot has deteriorated over the last 5 years, which just with a 10-mile-an-hour east wind floods the lot and then proceeds to flood the whole neighborhood in a matter of minutes. So something really needs to be done. Bulkheading. I don't know why we can't get a bulkhead on that lot. I know it's part of it's deemed wetlands, but from the map I've seen online, most of the wetlands is close to the road. Problem is at the bay, just the water getting to the road. And people are stuck there for days. They can't go to work. And if there's an emergency vehicles can't get down the street, as you've seen from the pictures, it's 2 or 3 feet high of water in the street. So something really needs to be done. And I hope some action is taken. I just want to thank Mayor Crate. She's responded to me, phone calls, emails, and thank you for your help. And I hope something gets done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else from public, please?
It's Dave Pisbilko, 191 Cartagena Drive. I'm here to support our neighbors and myself. I'm new to the block. I've been here like 4 years. When I first moved here, didn't have a flood issue. Now it gets worse and worse. I missed numerous days of work. My wife works 5:30 in the morning. She has a pretty hard job just to get there to open the building. She already got reprimanded for not able to make the job because of the flooding. I went through to flood myself my truck. It actually damaged underneath my truck. There's a $300 price tag to get that fixed because of the flooding. I lost numerous days of work myself, and I had to show pictures, or sometimes people don't realize the flooding we get that other people don't get. And I know Mayor Craig's been great. I know John, Mary Ann, all our neighbors been trying to all pitch in. So I would really appreciate, guys, if you could do something. I know Bob has a heart issue. God forbid something happened, can't get him out. So I just want these guys to know that we do have a problem here, and hopefully we can do something to solve that problem. But thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else from public, please? Seeing none? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Debbie Rooney. I'm at 184 Cartagena Drive, Brick. And we lived here, my husband and I, for about 5 years now. And this year, it has been horrendous with the flooding. I couldn't get to work. I couldn't help my daughter with her kids. She works at the doctor. She could, it causes a big problem. I couldn't get to my other job with children, supporting families that work. Recently, my husband took his car in for maintenance and realized that now is the rotors with his car have to be replaced 15,000 miles earlier than it would normally because of the rust. I've had rust under my car, extensive rusting, and I've been told that because I have to drive through the waters. When I drive through this water to try to get through, my car starts to float. And in fact, we've had cars that got stuck on the road. And I just keep trying to get myself through because I have a job I have to get to. And it's been very difficult. Been here 5 years, but this year, we'd see the water come up when we first moved in, but it wasn't flooding. But now it's really flooding. It's like 2.5, 3 feet high as you go down. You can't even, I've never seen it come way up the road. And it's coming way up the road, all the flooding. So we'd really appreciate your help in trying to install some sort of bulkhead or something to stop the water coming up from the marsh in the bay into our community there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else from public, please? Seeing none, close public. Mrs. Bergen?
For some reason, I thought she was going to do a roll call. I'm sorry. So I just want to make one comment if I can. So there have been pleased by 3 residents of Evergreen Woods who have attended our meetings requesting assistance with the barrier in their community. They have not gone unanswered, and we'll continue to answer these questions at every public meeting where the subject is raised. So I'll stay diligent with that, making sure you're all informed. Since 2014, I've heard from 3 residents in Evergreen Woods, and I've attended several Evergreen Woods Association meetings where this issue was not included on their agenda for discussion. Same is true for Sutton Village, Greenbrier, and the school district. The fact that toxins exist in our environment does not equate to justification for a sound wall or additional plantings. Time has elapsed since the 2019 study, but that does not change the need or the requirements for the NJTPA to come out now. At the time they were doing the expansion was the time of the study. And as he mentioned, we did a study, as I mentioned last meeting, that cost the township $52,250 to do a study that were directed by the residents who wanted them, where the placement of the equipment was put and how it was calculated. And that did not show that there was an excessive level. So we did what we could to try to wage a battle based on science and data, and we did not have the material that we needed. So at that point, there was nothing left for us to argue. The last community that opted for a sound wall, even though they did not meet the criteria, which would be equitable to our situation, was East Brunswick. And in that project, the wall was constructed, but the homeowners were assessed. So we have not moved forward with an assessment to build a sound wall because all of the impacted residents would surely want to have a say in that. And the association has not directed us that that's an interest that the majority of their residents have in any world. So that's what's happening in Evergreen Woods. I'll continue to update you each meeting that it comes up.
Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you. So I just want to address the members of the public that came out tonight. Thank you for coming out. That's why we have these meetings, because we want people to come and express what's going on in their neighborhoods and share with the council what's going on. I just want to follow up on a couple of things. First, with regard to Valencia Drive and the MUA, we have had conversations back and forth. I've spoken with different members from or different citizens or residents that live on that street. What I would like to do, I know what our attorney says with regard to how much control we have over what the MUA does, and I've expressed that in emails, but what I think we can do is maybe set up a meeting between our council and RBA and their council and see where things stand at this point so that we can report back out to the residents, at the very least, have them come together to have that discussion. We don't really have an influence over that, but at least we can see from our end and our perspective what's going on a little clearer. I did have a conversation with the head of the MUA. I think I expressed that in an email I'm sorry, because I've emailed a few residents. And we didn't, other than saying that they were holding back the money, the funds, that's where what we would have done as well. So we'll have that conversation and see where that gets us, just so you know that we're not ignoring your pleas. We do hear you, and I can completely empathize. Our hands are a bit tied with what we have the ability to do legally, and I want to have that conversation to see if there's something else we can do. So for that group of people, we will look into that, and then we'll reach back out. Once we're able to do that, we set that meeting and see what happens. For my flooding, the people who live on Cartagena, the flooding that takes place, we've had lots of conversations about that as well. I've had phone conversations and email conversations. I just want to update the council so they understand where we stand with that as well. We have spoken with residents And we have actually met with, our engineer has met with two members of the NJDEP to see what possibilities there are for Sabero Drive and what we can do to help mitigate the flooding there. Just FYI for you guys, because I don't think you realize this, we already did a roadway elevation there, so that's out of the, we're not able to do that again because we've already gone above what our usual roadway elevations are for that particular road. All of the things that we proposed to the DEP were not acceptable as far as what they would say is allowable. We talked about a bulkhead that was not acceptable. We talked about having a berm that we could make it look pretty so it could block, but we would need to anchor it for safety, and that would have required a CAFRA. So we couldn't do that. We went back and we tried to do a 12-inch berm curb. That's not really acceptable. So we have been working with the residents. We've worked with the DEP. We've tried that. And we too are hitting roadblocks. So I just wanted to update you on what we've done so far. What I would like to do is that Ms. Bergen and I will reach back out to the two members of the DEP that we've met with already and see if they'd be willing to speak with you, with the residents themselves, so they can explain why. I feel like I've become the middleman at this point. I keep getting no as well, and I'm trying to explain what they're saying, and I'd rather them just explain themselves. So perhaps we can set something up with the residents and those members of the NJDEP so they can explain what is acceptable and what isn't, and why we haven't been able to move forward at this point. I will say, as far as the safety goes, I know you're stating that I know you have health issues. We have spoken as well. Please know that we do have high water vehicles. So if there is an emergency, the police, that's what our police are for. They want to come out, they want to assist you, and they will assist you. So if you have a medical emergency and you need to get out, please do not hesitate to call our police department. We have high water vehicles and boats that will come and get you if there is an issue. We're not leaving any resident in a situation where they cannot receive assistance if there's a medical issue. Okay, so please make sure you reach out if that's the case. And so I just wanted to update the council on that. I appreciate the residents coming out and meeting face to face. I know we've had a lot of phone calls and emails back and forth, so it's nice to see your faces. And please continue. We'll continue to communicate the best that we can. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Mr. Starkey?
Aye,
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Nothing, thank you.
Madam Secretary?
No, thank you.
Councilman Albanese?
Yeah, just to echo what the mayor said, we do sympathize. We appreciate you guys coming out, and we do sympathize with you. These things take time. Hopefully, we can come up with a speedy resolution, because I know these things are difficult. But we do recognize it, and we will do all we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Pantarera?
Thank you. I will also thank the residents for coming out. Even though you may not have an answer tonight from us, imparting us with the facts of the situation is important so that we're all educated. I happen to know about Cartagena. I have a close friend right on that road that was there the day of Sandy, and I've seen the aftermath, so I'm familiar with that street. But our hearts go out to every one of you, and please don't think that this is not something that we're concerned about. We're in our own way of what we can do, and from hearing from Mayor Tate, she isn't kind of in the middle of the way trying to kind of be the middleman for you guys. And that'll at least give you an opportunity to hear from their mouths what will work and what will not, so that you don't have to play the telephone game and have secondhand information. Also glad to hear that there is money that was held back from the project, so that's really good and at least hopeful for everyone. Like Mr. Sarkey said, if there is grounds for your particular situation for a lawsuit, that is definitely an option that
any of you can explore. If there are enough people, it could be a class action lawsuit. So I wish you all the best and please keep us informed. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeYoung.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening, and I echo everybody else what was set up here. I don't want to rehash everything, but I do want to mention, I was asked to mention some recreation programs, some new ones that we have for those budding art students. There is an acrylic paint program that is open to ages 13 to 18. All classes are held at Civic Plaza, and the first session is July 15th through 18th, 10 to noon. And then the second session is July 22nd through 26th, 10 to noon also. And then there's also a mural making community art class, ages 13 through 18 again, and that is a 2-week class, July 15th through 25th, and that's at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And if there are any artists out there that want to get involved, and we're bringing back art classes to our recreation programs, it's something really great that I know we're popular and we had to take away because of cost, but we're able to get the cost under control. And it's a new program that we're offering our students. You can go to register at communitypass.net/Brick Township. Say that 3 times fast. And that's all I have this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Council Vice President Ambrosino.
Thank you, Council President. I'd also like to just extend my appreciation to the residents that came out. I know you might have heard otherwise, but your words were heard by the town council, and we do listen, right? Often the wheels move very slowly, but we have heard you. And like Councilwoman DeYoung, I'd also like to mention and remind everyone on a completely different note that we're excited and looking forward to the first Summerfest that will be conducted before our next town council meeting. It'll be on Thursday, 4th of July. I think it's Super Trans Am. Am I correct there?
Yes.
Yes. And I have a feeling that it's going to be a record-setting attendance this year. The recommendation is to take the buses. That's right. Parking can be a nightmare. But I hope to see many of you out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So to piggyback, again, we do hear you. We're going to do our due diligence. And after Council Vice President Ambrosino stole my thunder about Summerfests, the first one is July 4th. It is Super Trans Am. The next one is July 11th. It is Garden State Radio. And then July 18th is Aftershock. Sorry, I'm reading it off my phone. So, again, the Summerfest thing is a lot of fun. It really is. It's at Windward Beach. Come out. They have food trucks. The music is great. The fireworks. Oh, yeah, it's free. Yeah, that's a good thing. But yeah, take the buses. There's places around town you can park your car, take a shuttle over there. And our next meeting is July 9th, 7 p.m. here. Can I get a motion and a second to adjourn?
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
That's right.
Yeah.